Welcome back to the FPS controller series in Unity 6. In today's episode, we are going to create our weapon aiming system, also known as aim down sight. So when we press the right mouse button, our weapon will smoothly move into the center of the screen, change camera's field of view, and will also reduce weapon sway and recoil while aiming. So the weapon feels more stable and accurate. But before we start writing the aiming system, there is one important bug in our current weapon controller that we need to fix first. So let me quickly show you the issue. As you can see, when I fire the weapon, our Raycast is detecting hits correctly. But sometimes the ray also hits our own player object. And if you look at the console, you can see the player was hit multiple times. That is a problem because our weapon ray should hit enemies, walls, ground, and other world objects, but it should not hit our own player. This debug line is very useful for testing because it clearly shows which object the ray is hitting. And here we can see that sometimes the ray is hitting the player object as well. Now, why is this happening? This is happening because right now our Raycast is checking against every collider in the scene. We are not telling Unity to ignore the player layer. So if the ray passes through or starts near the player collider, it can detect the player too. And in an FPS weapon system, this is not correct. Our own player collider should be ignored by the weapon ray. So to fix this properly, we'll use a layer mask. A layer mask allows us to control which layers the Raycast can hit or which layers it should ignore. In our case, we want to ignore the player layer. So first, inside our weapon controller script, I'll create a new serialized LayerMask variable. Private LayerMask, ignore layer. LayerMask is a Unity type that stores layer information, and by making it serialized, we can assign the layer directly from the inspector. So now, instead of hard coding the player layering code, we can simply select it from Unity. This is cleaner and easier to adjust later. Now we need to use this layer mask inside our Raycast. Let's add this ignore layer in Raycast condition with tilde symbol. This symbol means invert the layer mask. So instead of saying only hit this layer, we're saying hit everything except the layers inside ignore layers. Back to Unity. As you can see, our player already as the player layer. Select the weapon object. In the inspector, you'll now see the ignore layer field. Here we'll select the player layer. So now the weapon Raycast will ignore anything on the player layer. Now let's test again. Press play and start firing. And now if we check the console, the ray is no longer hitting the player object. It only detects the proper objects in front of the camera, like walls, ground, enemies, and other hit targets. So this bug is fixed. Now that our Raycast issue is fixed, let's start implementing our weapon aiming system. But before writing the script, we need to set up our weapon hierarchy properly. I'm going to create an empty parent object for the weapon and rename it to AKM underscore and set this empty AKM underscore object as parent of our actual AKM weapon, and make sure the transform position of this child AKM should be 0, 0, and 0 for the rotation as well. Our actual AKM weapon object already has the weapon controller script attached, and this same weapon object is also being affected by weapon sway and weapon recoil. So if we directly use this same object for aiming, then aiming, sway, and recoil will all try to control the same transform. That can create conflicts, and the weapon may not reach the exact aim position or rotation we want. Now, let's create a new C# script and name it as weapon aiming. Open the script, and just like our weapons way and weapon recoil classes, we'll remove mono behavior. We don't need this script as a separate Unity component. We want to use it as a serializable helper class inside the weapon controller. Next, let's make the class serializable. We'll remove our start and update methods as well. Now first, we need a header weapon aiming settings for organization. This does not affect gameplay. It only makes the inspector cleaner and easier to read. Now the very first variable we need is to store the weapon original position before aiming. Let's add private vector3 hip position. We need this because when the player releases the aim button, the weapon must return back to its original hipfire position. Next, we need the aim position. Let's add private vector3 aim position. This is the target position where the weapon should move while aiming. Let's find our aim position and rotation first. Quickly adjust the position and rotation of parent object of our actual weapon. I guess that's a good position for our weapon while aiming. Let's copy the transform component properties and Ctrl+Z to redo until we have original position of weapon, and create a new empty object and rename it as aim position. and paste the transform component value for our aim position. That's a temporary object to assign the aim position and rotation to our weapon. Back to our code. Now we need the same vector 3 for rotation. First, the original hip rotation. Let's add private vector 3 hip rotation. This will store the weapon parent's original rotation before aiming. Next, we need the aim rotation. Let's add private vector 3 aim rotation. This is the rotation we want while aiming. Sometimes position alone is not enough. We may also need to rotate the weapon slightly so the iron sight aligns properly with the center of the screen. Now we also want to change the camera's field of view while aiming as well. This field of view will give us a zoomed in aiming feeling. Let me to show you how this will work. Let's select our main camera, and if I decrease the value of field of view, you can see it gives a zoomed in aiming feeling. So when the player aims, the camera will smoothly move toward this FOV. Let's reset the field of view of camera to 60 and open up our weapon aiming script and add a couple of floats for our FOV. So first we need the original hip FOV. Let's add a private float hip FOV. This stores the normal camera field of view. When we are not aiming, the camera should return back to this value. Next, we need aim FOV. Let's add a private float aim FOV and set its value to 45. This is the field of view while aiming. A smaller FOV gives a zoomed in aiming feeling. Next, we need aiming speed. Let's add private float aiming speed and set its value to 10. This controls how quickly the weapon moves, rotates, and changes FOV between hipfire and aim mode. Now let's create a method to store the original weapon parent position and rotation. Let's add public void set hip position and rotation, and pass a couple of vector 3 for hip position and hip rotation as parameters. Inside this, let's get the value for hip position and hip rotation. Let's say hip position equals hip holds and hip rotation equals hip rot. This is important because we don't want to manually type the original values. We can simply take the starting values automatically when the game starts. Now let's create the main aiming method. Let's add public void handle aim and pass 3 variables in it. First is bool, is aiming, so it knows whether the player is currently holding the aim button. Second is transform weapon aim, which is the parent transform we want to move and rotate. And third is camera, FPS camera, because we also want to adjust the camera FOV while aiming. Inside this method, first we calculate our target position. Let's create a local vector 3, target pose, equals if is aiming, then aim position else hip position. This means if the player is aiming, target position becomes aim position. If the player is not aiming, target position becomes hip position. So this single line handles both aiming in and aiming out. Now we do the same for rotation. Let's create vector 3, target rot equals if is aiming, then aim rotation, else hip rotation. Next we calculate the target FOV as well. Let's create a float, target FOV equals if is aiming, then aim FOV, else hip FOV. Next, we'll smoothly move the weapon aim parent. Let's say weapon aim dot local position equals vector 3 dot lerp, and it is from weapon aim dot local position to target pose, and time dot delta time multiply with aiming speed. Next, we'll smoothly rotate the weapon aim parent. Let's say weapon aim dot local rotation equals quaternion dot slurp, and it is from weapon aim dot local rotation to quaternion dot Euler, and target rot. This will convert our vector 3 rotation values into a proper quaternion rotation, and time dot delta time multiply with AF Ming speed. Finally, we smoothly change the camera FAV. Let's say FPS camera dot field of view equals mathf dot lerp, and it's from FPS camera dot field of view to target FEV, and time dot delta time multiplied by aiming speed. This gives us a smooth zoom effect while aiming. So now the aiming system controls 3 things: weapon position, weapon rotation, and camera field of view. Now let's go back to our weapon controller script And let's create a weapon aiming variable to access its methods. Let's create private weapon aiming. Now inside start, we need to store the hip position and rotation value. So let's write weapon aiming dot set hip position and rotation. And since the actual AKM weapon is now a child of our empty AKM underscore object, we can access that parent using transform dot parent. Let's say transform dot parent dot local position. And for rotation, let's say transform dot parent dot local Euler angles. Next, we'll create a dedicated method for aiming. Let's create private void apply aim, and inside this method we call the weapon aiming dot handle aim function and pass is aiming bool. I guess I didn't declare the is aiming bool. Let's quickly create a bool for is aiming. Quickly duplicate the is shooting bool and rename this as is aiming. And inside the update method, let's say is aiming equals input dot get mouse button 1. This will be our right mouse button. If the player is holding the right mouse button, our aiming will be true. Otherwise, aiming will be false. Now let's pass this as aiming bool, and for weapon aim, let's say transform dot parent, and for camera, pass FPS camera. Now inside update, we simply call this apply aim method. Save the script and set the hip FOV value to 60 and set the aim position and rotation as well. Copy the X position from our aim position object and paste it for aim position. I guess hip position and hip rotation are unnecessarily there. We should hide them in inspector. Let's open up the weapon aiming script and remove serialized field from them. Save script and back to Unity. Now we have just two vector3 fields. Now quickly copy the position and rotation from aim position object. Hit play to test the game. Now if I hold the right mouse button, you can see our weapon is smoothly moving toward our aiming position, and change rotation as well, and camera is smoothly reducing FOV. But we still have one issue. When we aim and move the mouse, the weapon sway is still too strong. And when we shoot while aiming, the recoil is also too aggressive. That does not feel right, because when aiming, the weapon should feel more stable and controlled. So now let's reduce weapon sway and recoil while aiming. First, open the weapon sway class. Inside our gun sway method, we'll pass one more parameter, and that will be bool, is aiming. Now inside this method, we'll create two local multipliers that will help us to control how much sway should be applied. First is float sway multiplier equals if is aiming, then sway multiplier will be 0.1f, else 1. Next, we need a float for movement sway multiplier. Let's create float movement multiplier equals if is aiming, movement multiplier will be 0.1, else 1. Now we'll apply the sway multiplier to mouse sway, and right there where we are converting our mouse input into vector3. Let's multiply mouse input.x with sway multiplier and mouse input.y with sway multiplier as well. Next, we also need to reduce movement sway as well, right there where we are converting move x and move y values into movement sway vector3. Let's multiply move x with move multiplier and move y with movement multiplier as well. This makes the weapon more stable while aiming and walking. Now, let's reduce recoil while aiming. Open the weapon recoil script. Inside the apply recoil method, pass a parameter bool, is aiming. Inside this method, we'll create a recoil multiplier. Let's create float recoil multiplier equals if is aiming, recoil multiplier will be 0.1f, else 1. Now multiply this value with our recoil rotation. Now aiming recoil will feel much smaller and more controlled. Finally, go back to the weapon controller script and pass this aiming bool in apply recoil method and pass is aiming bool in gunsway method as well. Now, let's test the game again. When I aim, the weapon still has a small amount of movement, so it does not feel completely static. But the sway is now much lower, and when I shoot while aiming, the recoil is also smaller and more controlled. This gives us a much better aiming feel. That is it from this video. In the next video, we'll create a bullet emit effects and sound of bullets when they hit the ground. Thanks for watching, and subscribe for more videos and new series.